Hey everyone, welcome back to Shaaz's Tech Hub. It's been a while, I apologize for that. Life has been busy. I started a new job at Adobe. I'll talk a bit more about that later. But today we are going to be talking about inflation and how it impacts the video game industry. It's a big topic, but what we're seeing today is big players like Sony increasing the price of the PlayStation 5 2 years later. So you're getting an relatively older technology with no improvements, and they're going to increase the prices. They already have increased the prices across the world besides the USA. You're also seeing something very similar with Apple and how they treated the latest iPad, jacking up the prices on a lot of products actually beyond the iPad around the world, even some of them within the USA itself. The iPad did a different story because in some cases it's a newer model, there's new features, but in England I believe they've increased the prices on old iPads as well. Inflation. And then let's talk about also how this may impact Nintendo with their infamous Super Nintendo Switch, or their Switch Pro, or their Switch Deluxe Pro, or the Switch 2, whatever they're going to call this thing, if it even exists. So why is this happening? The first step in understanding the why is understanding a concept called price elasticity. It is a very fancy term. All it means is something very simple. When the price of a product goes up, the demand goes down. Very simple. But some products, when the prices go up, they don't go down. The demand of the product doesn't go down as much as you think it would relative to other products. So perhaps what we're seeing is an increase in the prices of luxury goods, because luxury goods do have this very interesting relationship where when prices go up, sometimes demand does not go down, but sometimes demand even goes higher. It's an interesting relationship. We've seen this before in the 2008 crisis in multiple brands from Louis Vuitton, Hermes. They all saw increases in sales during that crisis, during a recession. And that happens because of the cultural components of the psychology behind, overall purchasing and saying to the world as an upper middle class person or a rich person that this recession does not impact me at all, and here's my Louis Vuitton. Is it the smartest thing to do? Probably not. You probably shouldn't be doing that during a recession. But culturally, it's making a statement. It's one way of doing that. So the relationship between the price of a product and the demand of a product is quite more complicated than you would have imagined. So that's why I think we're seeing with Sony and, again, the supply chain issues, although they claim to have fixed some of those. We'll see if that's true or not. But we're seeing they being able to increase the prices because they feel that the demand wouldn't go down that much. They think they can squeeze you just a bit harder to get more juice out of your wallet. Same thing goes to Apple. So it's an interesting play what they're trying to do there. Now with Nintendo, we've already discussed about this so many times. I have a few videos on this. I'll try to keep this short and simple and sweet. Nintendo should not release a new console because their particular console, the Nintendo Switch, has great margins now, meaning it doesn't take much money to make it, and they can sell it at a good price as they are right now and still be very profitable. Sales are declining just a smidgen. I think that's more due to the fact of the lack of software, aka video games. It's not because the hardware is getting too old. Of course, some games like the latest Bayonetta basically doesn't work on the system, not that well at least, to be fair to it. But that's fine. Let's just make a lot of money. Let's keep making the Nintendo Switch. It's finally actually not costing you. You're not operating at a loss in terms of selling that product, as we see with Xbox and PlayStation 5. It's in their interest to take a hit. So Microsoft, for example, confirmed that the Xbox, for every single Xbox Series X sold, they lose $200. They do that because they want to subsidize the hardware so you can spend all your money on the software. Very simple math, simple calculations. Nintendo doesn't need to do that now. It's been there for so long that they've optimized how to create this old machine. They can keep doing it, just keep making wonderful games. I'm going to be interested to see how the new Pokemon game does to hardware sales coming out pretty soon. So I still strongly believe Nintendo should not release a new console in 2023, regardless of the recession or the impeding recession, although we were already in a recession and we actually got out of it. So I don't know what folks are talking about in terms of going into, we just got out of a recession. But I'll pause there. Won't go down that rabbit hole. At the end of the day, inflation is real and is impacting and it is changing how these power players operate on pricing strategy. It's fascinating. Stay tuned for the next video. I'll hopefully have more time to talk about Adobe, my shift into that. It's going to be a fun time discussing about that new venture I'm on. As always, like and subscribe, and I apologize for taking so long to make this video. It's been really busy, but I think I can get the cadence of trying to do one video a week again. Get that momentum going. Your likes, your views, your support, your comments, your shares all make a difference. Subscribe.